It's just good game. We can Genesis into... actually, no, we can't. We don't have the appropriate land because they killed our snake. Again, you still see this landfall deck, though, popping off without the need of Ugin. Or, sorry, without the need of Uro. It's almost as good as Ugin. We need to pull our Ugin off the top. We do have two of them. 5.26% chance. And then that's good. Alright. Come on, top deck. Oh! Blessed be thy top deck. We're hitting for 5, right? Got him. We're gonna look at the deck list, each individual card, breaking down the strengths, the weaknesses, and why they were chosen to be included within this deck. Then we'll visit the strategies and the synergies. What's our overall game plan, and how do we take step-by-step goals or progressions to accomplish that overall plan? That we witness some gameplay footage talking about the playlines and interactions that we can come into contact with, you know, while discussing whether Uro would have made a difference in the situation or not. It's great to know how your deck operates. It's even better to know how it operates against the rest of the meta. Finally, we have my closing thoughts, talking, you know, about a recap and then just general stuff with the channel. So thank you again for your time and attention. Let's get right into it. Lotus Cobra ×4. This is a 2/1 with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. You know, this was in the deck. Uro played multiple lands. You know, the Cobra popped off. It was just one thing on top of the other that really hurt it. So let's see today if Lotus Cobra is still busted or not. 2 copies of Kazandu Mammoth. Now, this is actually one of my favorite cards in Zendikar Rising. It's a rare MDFC land, giving you a green to your pool. Obviously, it comes in tapped. But on the opposing side, it's a 3/3 with landfall, which gets +2/+2 whenever you put a land in play, you know, due to the landfall, right? So it becomes a 5/5. That's a big body. 4 copies of Roiling Regrowth. Instant speed, sacrifice sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. We are going to be rolling in the deep here. 2 copies of Cultivate, not as good as Roiling Regrowth. Sorcery speed, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards, put 1 into the battlefield, tap, then the other in your hand, shuffle your library. It still gets 2 lands into the field on 1 turn, plus you draw 1 for next turn. It's not bad. 2 copies of Kazel's Fury and Kazel's Cliff. This is another one of my favorites. It's a common MDFC or module faced card. On the one side, it enters tapped, adding a red source to our pool, and on the opposing side, at instant speed for 3, sacrificing a creature, dealing damage to any target equal to the sacrificed creature's power. And you know what? This combo is great with the Mammoth, but we're going to get into that in a second. 4 copies of Brazen Borrower, a 3/1 with flash and flying. Can only block other creatures with flying. That's the downside, or supposed to be, at least anyways. Petty Theft adds its instant speed adventure. Return target non-land permanent and opponent controls to its owner's hand. This is just going to help us open up the early game, you know, try to help us survive against those aggro matchups when we do find them. Allow us to ramp up and then, you know, just cramp down with all of the value that we get. Into our 3 drops, 4 copies of Migratory Greathorn, a 3/4 with mutate for 3. And whenever this creature mutates, search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. This is great. Obviously, it's a creature that allows us to play 2 land per turn, playing our normal land, then mutating, playing a second land that turn. Omnath, Locus of Creation. You know, you guys are familiar with this, obviously. It's a 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield for the first time, gain 4 life. The second time, add 4 mana. And the third time, deal 4 damage to a opponent or planeswalker. Sorry, each opponent and each planeswalker you don't control. Let's make a quick distinction on that. I got asked the other day about planeswalker decks. Let's do a walker deck. In this meta, right? You know, that's a Storm's Wrath basically every turn right now, which is insane. I don't know what planeswalker could withstand that now that you know, so many of the good ones have rotated. Anyways, without complaining too much about Omnath, Escape to the Wilds is a busted card as well. Sorcery speed, exiling the top 5 cards from our library. We get to play them until the end of our next turn, and we also get to play an additional land this turn. So you see the common modality of playing an additional land every turn, or taking as many opportunities as we can get to have that happen. Speaking of playing multiple lands, 4 copies of Genesis Ultimatum, sorcery speed for 7. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, put any number of permanents from among them into the battlefield and the rest into your hand. So if the instant or sorcery goes into your hand, anything else, including the lands, go into the battlefield, and that can trigger, you know, up to 5 times, right? Ugin, the Spirit Dragon. This is 8 mana coming in with 7 loyalty plus 2, dealing 3 damage to any target. Minus X is exile each permanent with converted mana cost X or less. That's 1 or more colors. And of course, minus 10. You gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, and then put 7 permanents from your hand to the battlefield. Similar to the Ultimatum, just a little bit better. These spells are accompanied by single plains, 5 islands, 2 mountains, 4 forests, 3 Riverglide Pathways / Lava Guide Pathways, which is the new rare dual face card. You got to get these. They're so good. And of course, we have the Cage Crown and Timber Crown pathways as well. That'll be the Gruul combination there. 4 Triomes, the red, blue, and green Ketria Triome, and of course 4 Fabled Passages as well, which is another form of a dual land drop because it itself is a land, and then it will pull in another land. So we have a sideboard. We're not really playing best of 3 yet with it. We're going to take a look at that maybe tomorrow. The red cap melees, just they deal with Omnath on entry. This is a must-have in every deck from now on. The negates, you know, I think Ugin's going to be pretty gross, and I think Genesis Ultimatum's going to be pretty gross. Never mind, Escape to the Wild. So negate is meant to stop them from utilizing all of the mana that they're going to accumulate. And of course, we have Heroic Intervention. You know, maybe we start to see more wipes and removal. It sucks losing the Cobra and your Omnath, but, you know, it is what it is. And then, of course, I think the new meta is not only to utilize ramp, but to protect against it. I think we're going to be needing to use Bone Crusher Giant's Stomp ability as an offensive on our opponent's Cobras, right? So we're going to try to have our Cobras stay alive and nuke their Cobras from this plane. So that's the sideboard guide that I'm imagining, and of course we're going to work with this later on when we do play best of 3. Today is best of 1, and by golly, this deck is a beast. We're talking 70% plus win rate. Very, very quick games. Your opponents concede literally as soon as you pop off with Omnath in Genesis or in Ugin, which is so sad, but yet still somehow so rewarding. And again, it is my humble opinion that how it did help it is still busted. You know, it helped it not be perfect, but when the draw hand comes out perfect and your opponent isn't immediately set up to deal with you, that's where you get into trouble. You know, the replayability of Omnath is not there like it was within Uro. So if you do deal it with your red cat melee, that's great, and now you only have 3 more copies to potentially deal with. Uro, you knew that they were just infinitely going to be played and then back from the graveyard, and that forced you to run graveyard hate, and that really took away from the rest of your deck. So let's take that hate out of our deck and focus on our offensive capabilities so we can cut down Omnath before they take control of the matches. As an aggro player, obviously today we don't want that to happen, but we do have one good example of that happening. So we see both ends of the spectrum today, how Uro changed absolutely nothing and this deck is still busted, and then we also seen how potentially if you don't have a great hand that it does leave some room for the aggro decks. So with that all being said, thanks again for your time and attention. I'm live on YouTube every morning at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard. At 7 to 7:30 a.m. we switch to Twitch. We're there from 5 to 8 hours after that, and we're back on YouTube at 6 p.m. If you don't want to do the time conversions from your time to Mountain Standard Central, you can go into the Linktree link below. It's got all of my different links. Subscribe to Twitch, you'll be notified. Subscribe to YouTube, you'll be notified. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You should also jump in our Discord because we have a 500,000 gem giveaway going on. We also have free entry, cash prize, artisan, and brawl tournaments tailored to beginners. You know, there is a lot of stuff happening, so don't miss out. And of course, today we're using Magic the Gathering Arena Tracker, the best tracker for Magic the Gathering Arena, giving you metagame analysis, deck videos, deck write-ups, everything that you could possibly want to make yourself a better player within Magic the Gathering Arena. So download that through the Overwolf link in the description below. Thank you for your time and attention. If you want to support the channel financially, I implore you to do so. Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and the newly incorporated Amazon link. All you have to do is just your general shopping. Click on the link. Anything you buy from 24 hours will help support me. I get 3%. That's awesome. That all out of the way. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are incredible. I hope you enjoy this deck. Is it still good? We are roiling in the deep today with Omnath. It is still good in my opinion, but we haven't seen the aggro decks adjust yet. So in the coming weeks, this could change. Enjoy today's gameplay footage. Don't forget to watch to the end because we have some once in a lifetime news for you guys today. We'll talk to you in a few minutes. So when we talk about keeping a hand or mulliganing a hand, this is a hard call. Yeah, Ugin, great. Escape to the Wilds, sure. Genesis Ultimatum, okay. But we're gonna have to really work to get there. But with that being said, Cultivate's good ramp. Escape to the Wilds ramps. Then Genesis Ultimatum just explodes the field and we can play Earl at will. Right? So it should be okay. And that is today's exploration into the arena is Omnath still good without Earl, Titan of Nature's Wrath. That ban just happened for us. I jumped on here as soon as it did. Of course, I did make that ban announcement video for you guys. If you didn't check it out, go watch it. I'd appreciate that. It's actually performing quite well. Better than any of my other videos, which I find strange, but you know, that's fine. And yeah, I think Omnath is still going to be really, really good. Of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments. It does slow it down a bit, the ramp and the life gain. So I think, though it is still possible to ramp into it and go crazy, it might, because there's no life gain, because there's no consistent 6/6 defender, it may just open up a slot for aggro, right? Like, how many times have you gotten a person playing with Earl as an aggro player down to 4 health, 5 health, 6 health, something just ever so close. We're going to play the passage now just to ensure that we can cultivate next turn and then not get the kill because they gain life. Coming back to the arrow thought there. So, you know, maybe without that consistent life gain, now we can, as aggro players, potentially start to more consistently get the kills in on the Omnath deck. So it is up in the air right now, and that's trying to, or that's what we're trying to figure out today. Playing against Dimir Rogues is not going to be a good time, right? We're here for science. These rogues are here out of anger. To be honest, it doesn't matter. We do need a mountains within the deck, though, now that I see it. We do have the Triome, which serves as it, but I'm sure there's a counterspell, right? They can counter both of our Cultivate and our Cobra, so not nice. But at the end of the day, let's just try to play the line out, right? Yeah, right? This isn't working. But, whatever. Maybe we should have tossed Cultivate first. But then again, we're in the position that if they didn't counter it, we could drop the Forest. And that would have been cool. 2 land for our Petty Theft at that point, right? But we lose our creature to Greathorn onto. Our opponent has nice field state, totally tapped out though. Here's another red source for us, so let's take it now. And then let's just cultivate. Obviously, Earl allowing us to play multiple lands each turn, gaining life, makes this equation a lot harder for them to win. But taking 8 damage, and we don't have any way to gain that life back, so now we're forced to rush into an Ugin and try to get it. And our land is way off for this Genesis Ultimatum, right? We also do sit close to being hit with lethal. Unpleasant. We've got 9 in the grave, so they're totally able to counter us almost with anything that we do. All right. Let's try it. Let's just run the line through. And this is why Dimir Rogues is so good, right? Tempo is amazing. Hit you with the aggro, counter you on your turn, keep hitting you with that aggro. So that's game. They can flash in another rogue and just hit us for 10. Woo! Anger and Spite, welcome to the arena. So Ugin not getting the job done there. Again, Dimir Rogues is one of those matchups that it is hard to come out with a W on, but we're going to do some more experimenting in the name of science. Alright, we have Cultivate, we have Mammoth, Milds, Ugin. It's not great. There's no Omnath in our draw hand. That's today's science experiment, if I've been unclear on that so far. Coming in tapped. Racing to our Cultivate. We got this. Oh, let's go slow, right? Let's get the value. Yeah, I love the Mammoth. Flinging the Mammoth at our opponent is a big what's up, in my opinion, for this deck, but we got more Mammoths. Let's just make sure we hit that turn 4 nicely, right? And then hit that turn 5. Technically, we could turn 5 on our turn 4 because we're skipping, right? We're ramping next turn. The Boot Nipper is great. It does have Death Touch. Right, we could play right into our escape, which may be beneficial just because they could just have removal, right? And then this would be better to play on 5 because we could play it, then play our mana right. Oh, I like that. Again, taking the turn off, 2 damage isn't that much. If we can play an additional land this turn, we're already winning. Let's passage and not use it. And then we can passage next turn, not use it. Split the 2 passages plus a roiling regrowth. Talk about roiling in the deep. Scourge, okay, that's pretty cool. Big ol' 4/4. Hit for 2, down to 16. Let's play our boy. Draw a card, which is just great. There's our fling. Land in play, gain 4 life. Crack a land. Gain 4 mana. And if we don't do this, we lose it. So we should almost do this as well and save the passage again for next turn. Which seems weird, but I think applicable. So it just goes to show you how many lands you can still crack without Uro. Still totally possible, and we've got, like, we could crack 2 more. Again, only 1 Omnath here, and no Cobra in play to really take advantage of all that. But I think it's still really good, at the very least. Let's pass. We still have a Fabled Passage to crack, right? So, you know, just kind of banking those instead of spamming them out right away. Making sure that we do crack 3 lands a turn, getting all 3 triggers of Omnath. We're back to 20 life as well. That's their 6th land. And we see this spell kicked for 6. 2 +1/+1 counters on it. That's a 3/3 with flying life gain. The Scourger clicks up to a 5/5. Let's toss that to the sky. Just take our 2 damage. That's totally fine with us. We're going to gain that back with the very first play of a land. What? I know, right? It's silliness. Could you crack these on your opponent's turn? Sorry. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 4 life. If this is the first time it's resolved this turn, yes! You could crack multiple passages on your opponent's turn, triggering your Omnath on your opponent's turn, I'm pretty sure. How busted is that? We could just probably snag them. Sorry for playing so slow. Many apologies. Yeah, we could just snag that, but we probably want to save it, I guess. Let's go for the land combo. There's our last land. So the passage actually wouldn't pull anything. Uh-oh, we don't have enough basics, is the problem. So let's cycle this. We don't want to play that Roiling Regrowth. Stay aware of your lands in hand and in deck. Let's attack for 4. They're not going to block. They want that flying damage, which they can't take now because the Greathorn can defend against it. And, I mean, worst case scenario, we just drop our Ugin. It is what it is. I'm not sure what we're doing here. Just chilling, I guess. We get to do 4 damage. Actually, no, we probably don't get to deal 4 damage so much anymore because we don't have the basic lands. We'll fix that, though. Slight oversight. And even I didn't realize how many basic lands we'd be playing. But I guess we used a escape to ramp. We cultivated. And then we used a regrowth, so we did ramp quite a bit. This is a 2-drop, a 1-drop, and a 2-drop. We could just Ugin -2 on their field and stay alive because both of ours are 4-drops. And that will be pretty devastating for them. Let's just end the game, right? There's going to be a scoop here. How wouldn't there be? -2 like we talked about. That eats their entire field. And we get to hit for 7. Gaining 4 life here. We have a petty theft here. We also have our fling available. No Uro needed. Right? Just the life gain from Omnath itself is appearing to kind of slow down the opposing decks. So the Serpent's great. You know, it's got protection from Ugin, basically, is what it should say. Unfortunately, not from Petty Theft. So let's just scoop that up. They're out of mana for the turn. That gives us lethal. And the game. Yeah, and we pull an ultimatum, of course. What a lovely time. So, Omnath still looks good. We shut down our opponent strictly because of that. It just, like Uro, does a lot of things. We're gonna save this passage, right? Double crack it on top of our Cobra's head. We also have the Greathorn as well, which is... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're gonna have an old-fashioned Cobra off. Do we get our Cobra stomped, though? I think that's the new tech, is you have to run Cobras, and you also have to run Cobra removal. In our opponent's case, whatever they want, they're up to 3 mana here. We see a green source and a blue source. No Uro to play for 3, which is somewhat comforting, right? To know that an Uro's not slamming down on the field. It's only a 3rd Cobra. LOL. Right? No big deal. Nothing to see here, folks. Let's grab a mountain. That makes whatever we want. We're at 3. That goes to 4. Let's Greathorn in on our Cobra. It kind of survives a little bit of the removal, maybe. At least damage-based. Petty Theft still F's it in the A. Let's grab our planes for later, you know what I mean. And we're back up to 2, which we have nothing to use it on. Sure wish I had 3 Cobras in my goddamn hand. Right? Snake fight! This snake looks a lot dangerous, though. He looks like he could take on 3 other snakes. Like, this is Granddaddy Snake. Oh, scoot. Scoot into triple land drop. Scoot. Scoot. I chose not to include the Scoot Swarm in the deck. I know it's busted, I know it's great, but it does result in some weird games. We could use it if you want. I just feel like it's too jank, though. It's too jank. That's their turn, hopefully. They're down to 1 card. Let's get an Ugin ready. So this is nice. Do we have enough to do this? We may as well try. I don't think so, though, because we pulled the wrong land. Not even close. Right. Bummer. Right, we're 1 red short. If we Greathorn, we pull 2 land, which takes us back up to 5. Or we cast it all. No, of course we do both. Right? They come and tapped, bummer, but it's fine. We're getting a good amount of ramp. Right, playing another land here, and finally we pull some of the Cobras. There's a lot of weird stuff we could do. I don't think we need to, though. We have the Omnath available soon. We have 3, we'd pull 2, and would trigger it back up to 2. So again, we're doing our Roiling Regrowth here. We still have land. Not a lot, mind you, but look at how effectively we're ramping. Then another Cobra in play. No attacks. We're ready to Genesis. We do have to add a red source to our pool, though. And then we just need an Ugin, and everything's okay. Omnath hits next turn, maybe, instead of our Genesis. We'll have to see. They're escaping. That's very good. Another Scoot Swarm. That's great. So that's a thing. Why? Oh, they know it. Why wouldn't they? Oh, they're gonna save the passage to crack? I don't think it matters. Nice. So we do make a case for the Scoot Swarm being pretty weird here too, which could have easily been included in the deck. Interesting. I'm surprised they're not playing that other Scoot. They are making multiple Parcel Beasts now, so that's annoying. Oh, yeah. Tear down. And now Scoot. Alright, we're taking just, like, way too much damage from the Terror. That's game. It's just good game. We can Genesis into... Oh, actually, no, we can't. We don't have the appropriate land because they killed our snake. Again, you still see this landfall deck, though, popping off without the need of Ugin. Or, sorry, without the need of Uro. It's almost as good as Ugin. We need to pull our Ugin off the top. We do have 2 of them. 5.26% chance. And then that's good. Alright. Come on, top deck. Oh! Blessed be thy top deck. We're hitting for 5, right? Got him. We lose Omnath. That's fine. Woo! That was close. Ask and ye shall receive. So the bummer here, they play the scoot, they play the land on top of it, they make 2 scoots. And we gotta go big with our ultimatum, which we've held onto this whole time. Oh, we played the wrong land though last turn. We didn't play the Fury tap to let us play the ultimatum. Oh my god. That's on me. We need to draw a Cragcrown Pathway to make up for our idiocracy. Oh, I'd take that mountain. And one of those over. And they pull more scoots. Interesting. Why are they doing this without the swarm in play? I can't kill them all. I'm only... Now I get to plus my Ugin is the thing. So it seems very weird. Right? I almost feel like they gave us the match a little bit. Or at least a chance. We have no mountains. We didn't fix that yet. This will do, though. This will do. And now we can Genesis freely. Get some of those Cobras in play, baby. Again, we're almost out of land. Just classic Temur ramp. Okay, a secondary tear, pretty cool. Into a scoot, into the land. Oh, that's not a scoot. They've lost the majority of their scoots. They're in exile too. We see 1 scoot, 2 scoot, 2 scoots in grave. There's more scoots to come. Cycling the Triome away. No. Alright, let's get weird with it, right? Wow. I guess we pulled 2 other ultimatums at least. And, you know, we stack the land basically to cast them. There's no... or nothing for us to, Fabled Passage here, which is a bummer. We do get the land there, though. And our Cultivate is also dead. Taking note of our basic land. It's just so late in the game. No block. We do have our own blocker. Right, Borrower is able to block. And it kind of sucks about the land. I keep adding a few more basic lands in. We'll add a few more in because, well, A, the game's not supposed to go on this long. But B, I guess if it does, it would be nice to be able to pull out and double down on Omnath a few more times. Just a nice block here. Keeps Ugin alive. Let's go for it again, right? Oh yeah, that's looking a little bit better. Now we need a fling for this Mammoth. We do get the 4 damage in here. 4 life, gain 4 mana. And we can Genesis again? Stop it. This is what I mean. Without Uro, we're still casting multiple Genesis per turn. Double Omnaths per turn. It's just too much. It's too much. I don't think we've done the damage yet, have we? Let's keep the one that can attack. And I still think the first one resolves. Mammoth said an 11-11. And it's got Summoning Sickness, which is a bummer. We could still do so many cool things. Let's play the passage. It doesn't do any good in our hand. Mammoth goes up again. I guess let's cycle this, looking for a fling. Not it. Let's take our attack phase. Again, we have another chump blocker for the Terror. So they have to play a creature, kill the Borrower, and then go from there. And just imagine if we had more basic lands, like our opponent would have already been dead. And I think I could have kept that first or the second Omnath and dealt more damage to our opponent. I think we missed out on 4, potentially. Again, we would have needed more basic lands, potentially as well, but still. Ugin's at 8, right? It is a +2, which makes it actually a little bit hard to chop down if you don't have a decent sized creature. And again, it can't be blocked as well, so let's see what they get. Scoot doesn't stand the test of time. Good game. They thought they had that. Woohoo! No Uro required really for either of us there. Alright, so 2 ultimatums in hand is kind of obnoxious. The ramp is there. I mean, we have 3 into Cultivate. The 4th being the Passage. We could maybe draw a Snake, right? Like, we're really definitely relying on that and then building into the ultimatums. But I think we're going to try to find a Snick, keeping 6, tossing the ultim, trying to find something to throw this Greathorn on. Where's our Snick, man? And full disclosure, I didn't fix the land yet. But don't worry, it will be fixed in your end list within the description below. So any troubles that I'm having will be 100% ironed out for you. Not a problem, right? Blue skies ahead. Ooh, paying 3 life. Discard a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play that card this turn. I don't think so. You can keep that Summoning Sickness right on you. We've got the land. We need a creature to mutate onto. I mean, the worst case, we just go with the Borrower again. Seems silly. We have to pull planes out. We're in a weird spot, though. They're basically tapped out, I guess. They could just activate the ability for a massive draw. That's a tech I've not actually noticed before. This is new tech for me. I really like that. So this is discarding 2 cards, and with Rael, whenever you discard 1 or more cards each time, draw that many cards. So not only are they just drawing cards, but they also get to play the cards that were exiled earlier. That's neat. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna make a deck about that for sure. We're gonna add this guy through our MTGA assistant. I'll show you guys how to do that when the match ends. Send them a message and let them know. Just because that's the coolest thing. Let's try to mutate. That could be an unsummon. That's standard legal still, right? Over top. We definitely have 1 mana bounces. And yeah, taking our planes, you'll notice we didn't fix the land, but we're pulling plenty of red source, so it doesn't really seem to be hindering us in any way. We can only block creatures with flying, so we may as well aggress. Down to 14. And too many Omnaths in hand, but we're going to make use of it, playing 1 and then the land to gain 4 life. Sure wish we were pulling our Snicks. That's the one thing about the Snake. It's not as consistent as Uro. Just because Uro has replayability. Oh, they're going big. Nice, good thing we attacked. Whereas the Snake, if you kill it, there's a good chance that, you know, it's gone for the rest of the match. But the Uro, you kill it, and it's like, well, that's coming back. So we're getting bullied here. That's for certain. Well, this is our combo if we can get it going, but how will we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We drop 6. Next turn we're dropping 7. We cheat this mammoth out just regularly, right? A little sustainability. The same with our fury, sadly, I think. Oh no. That's big boy damage. The channeler's up to a 4/4 now as well. Our first Omnath is gonzo. Still just trying to build into our saving grace here. Couple turns away. Can we survive? Thanks to Omnath? Probably. Especially when they're playing so conservative. We definitely can do it now. No counter. Draw a card. Yup. Actually, canceling that, we need to keep our Genesis Ultimatum in mind. To any target. We could just self-sacrifice. This is instant speed, so let's keep that in mind, that we could toss Omnath at something if we wanted. Right? I think at Rael, we should have already done it, but then they could have done it in response, so no, that wouldn't have worked. It is good. It is a good combo wombo there. I'm really liking this matchup we've got here. These people deserve medals, right? Okay. Tossing 2 lands, I assume. Land and an opt. Drawing 3. That was a, not a discard effect, luckily for us. We're gonna take the first 3. And now we're going to blast Rael, I think. Or the Channeler, but the Channeler can still do it right now while Rael's on the field in response to it, just like we talked about. So they get it now, they won't get it next turn. Unless they've got one in their hand to recast. Right? Oh, they do it in response to us. Nice. We still get hit for 4. That's totally fine. We're dropping for 3 here. Ugin, Ugin, Ugin. I see why people like playing with it. I'm gonna be honest. This guy saves games. It's like, can I get to 8 mana? Now, hopefully we pull some Genesis Ultimatums. Alright. Big discard here. Nice draw. Really cycling through their deck efficiently. Down to 33. We're at 44. Wow. Good game. No Uro, no problem. I mean, we're just being greedy at this point. We've got 70+% win rate. Let's just look for the snake. Let's go big. Keep 6. Well, I want the ultimatum. Do we just be super brave? I think so. Oh my god. Tossing a Petty Theft is like, what? That's the best card to have in your opening hand. I can't believe it. Oh, and it's aggro deck too. We should have kept it. Oh no. Ah, that's not good. Will our snake even survive is the question. We need Omnath out. And we need these ultimatums to hit real quick. Don't you dare! Alright, this match is over. And this is what I'm talking about. Does the Uro not hitting the field turn 3 consistently give them room, right? I think it might. I think it might. Another snake here would be great. We don't have it. Ouch. Missing our mana. Oh, Bolt Hound. So that is still hitting us for a bunch. What is this? Jesus. Stop it. How are we going to drop Uro or Ugin with 4 mana? And we don't pull a land. That's absolutely sickening, honestly. And we don't have enough to use. Like, again, we only pulled a 2. That's what I mean. It's not working out. It's not working out without Uro. And we missed a land drop, so that's on us. And I mean, sitting on 3 ultimatums in hand is a little weird, but yeah, that's just straight up good game. Unless we pull a land, gain 4 life, have a blocker. Or they have 1 damage. Yeah. Woo! Mono red can get underneath maybe without the Uro. Let's see how this pans out maybe a few more times. Interesting. How hard is it to find a snake? We have Omnath. That's what the video is about. It's not about how great the snake still is. It's about whether or not Omnath is busted. So let's try to figure it out. I love the Mammoth, and I don't think we need to land. So let's play the Mammoth as a Mammoth. Right? We do need to think of our Genesis Ultimatum mana. Actually, that should have been a forest. My bad. Idiot! Oh well. Non-countering this turn, which is good for us. Oh, that's not the right land either. I can't believe we messed that up. We should have been dropping the Mammoth this turn. Whatever. Let's go for it still. They can basically counter whatever we play, so we don't want it to be good. It's just gonna be this Mammoth. It's whatever. It's good. Sure. We need to survive now while we just bide our time. Is there no more counters, I wonder? Interesting. Draw a card here. Death Touch is active, so we'll be taking a, you know what, 8 damage next turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh. Oh, good golly. Ugano. They're gonna need counter magic available is the thing. Big hits. Can't counter Fabled Passage though. Oh, they get the 2 ultimatums. Yup. Oh, wow. Let's trigger it. Does get bounced though is the thing. We get the mana. And we just replay it for free? Or do we Ugin because they have nothing now? Ugin on 1? Stop it! They gotta counter it for 1. That spell does exist. That's not it though. We got a -2 now? Are you kidding? They really should have saved that as well until after our minus. Just my opinion. Then they had a creature in play. Man. Just a bummer. They got good draws. End our turn. And again, it's just more life, more mana, more damage. Rankle? Don't you dare do this to us. Got him. Woof. What do you guys think? Did Earl being banned stop Omnath from being busted? Yes or no? Comment down below. I want you guys on full cylinders. You're so emotional always, getting so upset, defending stuff, arguing with each other. You know, I'm asking for it today. Typically, I try to avoid that stuff. But, you know, was Wizards in the right by banning Uro? Did it fix the problem? Or are they just being silly by not addressing the problem of Omnath? In my humble opinion, I think it's a very good start. I think aggro decks can get underneath of it, but I think they might need to adjust their game plan. You don't have to deal with Uro anymore, so they can maybe focus a little bit more on the offensive capabilities. So that's nice. I think it could potentially change and be fine. However, as first review comes into conclusion, I think that Omnath is still 100% busto, and you know, you should have no problem just smashing out wins with this deck. You know, it's absolutely silly. You don't need Scoot Swarm, you don't need the Dragon. Just play your Uro, blast out, smash him down. Not Uro, sorry. That's how good Uro is. He's still in my mind at being at god level with Ugin, right? What I meant to say is play your Ugin, and you should just be able to win that way, right? Offensively, you have the Mammoth to fling. Defensively, you have Ugin just to minus out on everything. So, you know, I really am interested in your guys' opinions on this new Uro ban. Is it going to make a difference? Did you want to see Uro? Did you want to see something else? Whatever's on your mind, comment below. Let me know. Thanks for watching. I'm live on YouTube every morning at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard. At 7 to 7:30, we switch to Twitch for 5 to 8 hours. And then we're back on YouTube at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard if you don't want to do the time conversions to Mountain Standard Central. The Linktree link is in the description below. You can subscribe to my Twitch. You can subscribe to the YouTube. Join the Discord as well, because we have the 500,000 gem giveaway. Free entry cash prize tournaments every month, and then you'll be notified of everything, right? So you don't have to worry about any conversions, yada yada yada. We're using MTGA Arena Assistant today, the best you know, tracker for Magic the Gathering Arena. It's going to give you metagame analysis. It's going to give you deck videos by creators like myself and people much more talented, let's say, deck write-ups as well. So, you know, you can use that to your advantage to really up your skill set within Magic the Gathering Arena and start smashing out some of these wins more often, right? Get that win rate up. Thank you for your time and attention. I really appreciate it. If you want to support, you can do so financially on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and the new Amazon link. We get 3% of all of your purchases. Not a lot, but it does help. Make sure to hit your Christmas shopping up there this year. That would be awesome. And as far as that goes, thank you all just for your time and attention generally. Have a magical day. Make sure to watch another Magic the Gathering Arena video of mine, and we'll see you in a few minutes.